So this is my collection. I've had it starting with this car. It's an MO2L Beetle, 67 Beetle. And my XX CR. An original rebuilt Tamiya Brat that I built about 3 months before they re-released it. What was that? 20 years ago. Stampede. I'm trying to go in order. Wild Willie 2, which I'm waiting for a body. Losi Micro Buggy. Tamiya Sand Scorcher re-release version. Tamiya Rising Storm. My daughter actually raced this. It had street tires on it. These are the original tires. She raced it with street tires on an oval course. And then Stampede. It's had, I think that's the second body, second set of wheels. It's got a castle. I forget which model it is. 3800 kV, 4600 kV. And a Sidewinder. And then a V4 Creighton that has, I think I changed these out. These are backflips. Otherwise stock. My F350 high lift, which has had quite a bit done to it. Still on the original body, believe it or not. It used to be red, and it used to be on lease. Now it's got a Junfac 4-link on it, and the tallest 1.9s I could find at the time. And it's a bit floppy. And then a SCX-10. Started out as a dingo, put some links on it, stretched it out to 12.3, and put a Gladiator body on it. This car and I think the high lift. No, this car and, we'll talk about this. This is a PG407 Bruiser clone. I put the, I forget where this window comes from, but basically it makes it more like a Mountaineer than a Bruiser, so it doesn't have the half cab on it. It has, so this and the SCX-10 both have locked up RC wheels on them. This one has three wideners on each wheel to give it that real wide look, kind of like the original. The ones on the SCX-10 have one widener on each one. I forget which model wheel I got. I know one's a Carisma, all scale hardware. This one has scale hubs on it. I didn't put scale hubs on the Toyota. So the 67 Beetle I've actually never run. I built it 25 years ago, whenever the MO2L came out. Built it about 25 years ago, and then painted it about the same time I rebuilt the Brat. But it's never had radio gear in it. The only thing that I really need to do on it is remask the windows and back it, because it has a kind of a translucent color on it, so any sunlight just kind of goes right through it. And then finally, this used to be a Rustler, is now a no prep drag car slash low CG chassis. It has a Sidewinder in it as well, but is soon to have a 13.5 blinky in it. I'm going to put I have an ET3S that's been flashed with Mambo Max firmware, so I'm going to use that with a 13.5. It's got the Tamiya PS46 flip-flop paint, so it's green or purple depending on how you look at it. And then one of my latest acquisitions was a SCX-24, the C10. So I was gonna try and get all my cars on the table, but I couldn't quite make it. So yesterday I went to the hobby shop for a can of paint to paint the roll bar and the bull bar on the Tamiya Brat, and paid $300 for a can of paint and got a Carisma Brat thrown in. That's a joke, by the way. So gonna have fun with that, unbox it and see what it's like. Okay. I know there's been a couple of unboxings already of this. So I'll go in with cutting the factory seal. Put enough tape on it. No battery edition, which kind of sucks because I need a battery for my Willie. I think that's this. This is a bag. It's got an actual bag over the body. Officially licensed Lexan body from Subaru. Okay. Let's see. Let's do a size comparison here. So they're both considered 1/10 scale. Yeah, I don't see it. All right, get rid of this. And yes, I do have wheels coming. We had a huge order with RC Mart. And I already have tires. New original tires. All right, let's take a look at this thing. The windshield wipers are like molded into the sticker. Tinted window stickers. It's all stickers. Sure, that was lovely going through quality control. Backed in silver. Not bad. Have fun with it. I've seen other people mention this in different videos where one of the upper links pulled out. And yeah, same thing here. It may have been actually when I was pulling it out of the box. because there's not a whole lot of threads available on that. Brushed motor with a guard for whatever reason. Nylon reinforced plastic. A receiver. Sliding drive shafts. And also remember, I think on the original Carisma SCA-1Es, they had kind of almost like a short course style wheel on them, where the outer diameter was like less than 1.8 and the inner diameter was like 2.4 or something. But these look like standard 1.9 tires. I think there's foam in them, but not sure. Another thing they did is they moved the battery tray up front. Looks like it's a stand-up style. Chassis mounted servo rather than axle mounted. All plastic steering links. CVA, CVDs in there. Doubt the chubs are clockable. Provision for a front bumper, but with the Brat body, I don't think it would work, and it wouldn't look correct anyway, I don't think. Plastic skids, metal drive shafts, front and rear axles look the same except from the C-hub out. All right. I'll have to change this connector because I run, that's not very long either, because I run power poles. 2S LiPo Max. Heard any things about the speed controller, so we'll see how that goes. So as I fix this lower or upper link, one thing that I don't know would be considered a good idea or not. The screw just screws directly into a plastic boss, both for the lower links, which is also the lower shock mount, and for the upper links. Right there, that's where the screw goes. So power tools are probably not recommended, at least when you're reassembling. I haven't stripped it yet, but the fact that upper link was pulled out of the box makes me question the plastics quality. I did compare it to Revo ball ends, and that's probably too big for Revo, so you have to get build custom links if you're going to change ball ends. Hey, all fixed. Here's a little closer shot of the front axle. So there's a rebuildable plastic knuckles. Standard 12mm hex. These are a set of Boom Racing bar 6s with the original wheels that were on the Dingo / now Gladiator, and they fit just fine, but I'm going to keep the stock wheel on there. I don't think that's a removable hub, but it does have screws in the front. Interesting. What do these say? Adventure Time. Oh, tire, sorry. AT. Oh, they're AT-ATs. All-terrain. All-terrain adventure tire. AT-AT. Jesus. Okay. Let's get that connector changed. Oh, and the wheel put back on. this is interesting. Besides the fact that my driver's about ready to die, these are bead locks. I thought just the hub came out, but hub, front half, rear half. Oh, there's a plastic ring inside for the bead lock part, and yes, there are foams in it as well. Great, now I have to figure out how to put it back together. I wonder if these are SLW. Those aren't. I had an extra SLW around here somewhere. I don't think I'll be able to find it quickly enough. And I don't feel like taking another wheel apart. So. All right, put it back together. Okay, so I got the connector changed out. I had to extend it a little bit. So these are the plugs I've been using for decades. Anderson power poles. And ran it around a little bit. A few observations. One, yes, they're bead locks, and if I had read the manual, I would have noticed that the wheels come apart. I thought the tires were glued on. A couple things that bad, very bad. They say it's 100% drag brake, but I don't even. It's not. It's like it either goes or it's right now stops. It's not controlled at all. It'll do stoppies basically when you let off the gas when you're going forward. Basically, you'll be driving along, let off, and it'll do this, and it's just ridiculous. A couple things up front I changed was the steering throw was just terrible, and so I had a longer 25 tooth splined servo arm, so I put that on, and then also stock this drag link or tie rod was on these outer holes, so I moved them to the inner holes. Probably gives me, actually, it might be about the same, but to give myself a little bit more throw. So now the knuckles actually come close to hitting the stops on left and right, and still doesn't even come close to hitting the pumpkin. So overall, it's not too bad. I will be changing out the speed controller, putting in a Hobbywing Quick Run 1080 in it, which I also have in that. It works really well. And I also bought a new 1080 to put into the Dingo / Gladiator, because that had the ET3S with the MMP firmware on it. But the Gladiator body is narrower, and where I had the speed controller, the body really no longer fit. So there's a 1080 in that, a 1080 in that, and this, I think it's called the AC1 or ARC1 or ACR1 or something in that, and that's just going to come out. The radio, it's a basic radio. I might just go ahead and keep it in there. Otherwise, I have 2 or 3 Spectrum SR300s that I use with my DX3, which is over there, and I also have that Futaba 4PLS that I have in a few different cars. I think there's a receiver in the F350 and maybe the Stampede. I don't know, I'll have to check. And then some of these cars I've had for so long, like the Tamiya Brat uses an old, I think it's a JR Propo radio. I also have an old Futaba. I'm looking behind me to look, but I had to clean up, so the table's the table now again. So yeah, that was fun taking this thing out and checking it out. Another thing while I was working on this, another thing that came in the mail for the drag slash, I got my custom license plates from RC Plates. So that was kind of neat. I live in Texas, so I got my Texas plates for it. Now all I have to do, if you've lived in Texas, you know that we use the one sticker program. So just need to make a window sticker, keep it scale. So all right, thanks, bye.